Good morning, everyone, or perhaps it's afternoon or evening when you're listening. But welcome to the Back Nine. That's the important thing here. Alongside Dennis Williams, I'm Josh Mora. We're glad to have you. And this is an episode making the turn. We are looking ahead to season 12.
This is season 12.
Season 12. And I love these episodes because we get to talk about what's coming up and looking ahead to the season ahead of us. And looking forward, because that's such a part of our mission on the Back Nine.
And looking at everything that's, been going on and going on in the future. We got a banger of a first episode. We don't have a ton of other stuff lined up, but we do have our categories now. We have like parenting and fatherhood is one. We have relationships. Each episode now has a different sort of category so that you can structurally figure out something that interests you, because we do know that like not everything connects with everybody. So we want to make sure that you look at our seasons and you look at each sort of category that we're hitting on, travel, those kinds of things, relationships, and what kind of things connect with you. And those kinds of things are the episodes that you should be listening to. We always have great guests. And the cool thing about it now is we're going to set it up so you can go back, and these are all be categorized on our website so that you can see in each category, what episode connects with you. It was kind of a way we had to organize things after over 100 episodes. We had to figure out a way to...
As we get new listeners in.
Right. How are they going to know what episodes are going to connect to them if they want to go back? And I think it's really resonated because we've seen a lift in some former episodes. People going back and finding episodes that, we thought were... dated and way back, but they're going back and finding them, which is pretty cool.
And it's the website, since you mentioned it, is back9podcast.com. That's the number 9. So back9, the number 9 podcast.com. Another thing that we should talk about as we head into season 12, Dennis, is our new partner, Hammer and Nails Men's Grooming.
Yes, that's very cool. The group in Orlando there is connecting with us. So
they're one of the franchisees.
One of the franchisees, but it is a nationwide franchise. Right. But the one that is connected with us happens to be the group in Central Florida, in Orlando, in your backyard. So they're great people. It's certainly aligned. Their customers are, for the most part, back Niners. So it's a good new partner.
Yeah, so for all you Hammer and Nails people who are finding us for the first time, welcome. We're glad to have you. And what we talk about here is life on the Back Nine, living your best life in midlife.
And being bougie like he is for the grooming. Like let's make no mistake about it.
Like you're going to turn it down.
Hammer Nails.
Please.
Janine, right? Hammer Nails is all about Josh, right? Like getting the bougie, all that. Come on. Right.
Well, but I mean,
we'll let the producer weigh in.
It's worth it, right? I mean, I'm kind of glowed up. We do love them. I think that the services they provide are terrific. So one of the other things that we're doing for all of our new listeners, our traditional listeners know this, is that we are in the process of writing a book about men finding relationships after divorce. We'll talk about that in a minute, but I want to talk first about the inspiration that we have had recently in the process of this from Colette Fair, our good friend, who was our first ever repeat guest on the show. We promoted her book last season. It's called The Cost of Quiet, and it's about how you create boundaries and step up for the things that are important to you to create healthy relationships. Part of the reason why I've had a little surge of inspiration is seeing her everywhere, doing so many neat things around this book.
Right.
And seeing it catch traction.
Yeah, I mean, obviously her publicity, she's been on national shows, local shows, lots of cool stuff. So obviously that's a great inspiration for us. And I got really excited. You're doing a lot of the writing. I'm doing some. Let's put it in perspective here. But what I'm excited about is just seeing it come to life. Until you see the words on the pages and all of those kinds of things, you don't realize that it's happening. And it's some good stuff. And everybody we've talked to about the subject matter does say, this book is needed. It's not something that's out there for men. So grateful that we're doing it, and it ties nicely into the Back Nine podcast, and it'll be great.
So, not giving away the title, we have a working title that could change as we work with our agent and our soon-to-be publishers. But again, the book is for guys who have really gone through it or are going through a midlife divorce and really want to find love again, a healthy relationship again, and we have to rebuild ourselves to be available for those healthy relationships with a second chance. And I think one of the things that's important to us is how much we feel that, how really fortunate we each feel about having found great relationships and love again post-divorce.
Yeah, and I think it's such a it's a process, and it's a long process actually to get from point A to point B, and it's not a straight line. So, and I think this book outlines, and there's no actual pure formula. Everybody's going to sort of take pieces of this book and hopefully implement them in their own life, and also maybe not make some of the mistakes we made. You know, I mean, I certainly made, and we've talked about it on the show, I've certainly made my share of mistakes, and learning from those, and hopefully we're able to impart some things on people so that they understand, you know, how to maybe do it. Not exactly, it's not like a playbook, you know, it is a little bit, but it's also got some nuance to it and some situations that were not perfect for us.
Yes. And it's only on the other side of it that process, the broad process of it, is clear. When you're in it, it can be kind of muddy and muddled.
Yeah, I think the thing that was hard, it's been hard for me a little bit, is stirring up some of the bad memories that I've had to put in there. Some of the things that you know, struck me as, okay, we need to put this in the book, but boy, I had forgotten about that, and I had let that go. And you're writing about it again, and you're living it again a little bit, and you're realizing some of the pain that was there, and disappointment, you know, because at the end of the day, divorce is the ultimate disappointment. There's nothing in your life, very few things in your life probably, that you can be more disappointed in than if a spouse lets you down, or you let a spouse down, whatever that reason is for your divorce. It truly is the ultimate disappointment of life.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think we both feel the way. And then the joy of getting past that and moving through that pain. And section one of the reasons that we're so excited about where we are right now is that section 1 is done. It's a book in 3 sections. And when I say done, it's not the final copy. You know, the publishers will have something to say about it. Our agent and their editors will tweak it some too. But we feel like we're about 85 to 90% done. It's done from nose to tail, snout to tail for now. And section 1, to your point about there not being a playbook, this isn't the section that's about tactical dating advice. We have some of that later, and it's really freaking funny. But section 1 is about the comeback, and it's about needing to stop surviving, being able to move forward, because a lot of men want to have love again. They want to have a relationship again, but they don't realize that there is work to do first. And this section is about that work and rebuilding yourself so that you are actually ready when that great relationship presents itself.
And the anecdotal piece is to hear our stories on how we did that, you know, how we rebuilt from the ground up, really, after getting, you know, devastating or blindsided or whatever. You kind of build yourself up. So that's the big part of the book for me. Like there are some practical things you can do.
That's right.
And we outline them.
And not just our stories, but stories from guests who have been on the podcast, their stories, some of their advice as well. And I think in the first, if we're putting it into a, you know, kind of 4 bullet points of what section 1 is about, it is about how divorce shatters a man's identity. It is about how men tend to isolate. It is about how healing requires intentional work. And it's about readiness for love and relationship, and how that comes after the rebuilding. Those are the important takeaways from section 1, and there's lots of great ways in which we explore that.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be great. I mean, I really do feel like each of those things. Again, I had to relive a lot of those. We had some great guests who helped talk about those exact subjects, and that is a really good point. We'll bring those to your attention again, so you're reminded of. If you're a listener or a reader or whatever, you're reminded of what those great people we've had on had to say to help us. But yeah, I mean, it's a journey, and we outline it in the book.
We do. And, you know, it sounds like it's heavy. This it isn't that heavy. I mean, there's some stuff that's heavy within it, but the idea is to get to lightness, and now we have to work through that heaviness. And for our listeners who are and viewers who are new to the podcast, you should know that we each got divorced 2017, 2018.
I say 2017,
Yeah.
like wherever it's official. I've been thinking a lot about that, actually, that you bring that up, because you get asked that when you were divorced question. And I now just say 2017, even though the papers weren't signed, like it was 2017, like period, like end of story. I'm not like extending my marriage because the papers weren't signed for a year and a half. My first marriage, it doesn't deserve that. So it's March of 2017, period.
and you mentioned first marriage because you are now married.
Yes.
Again, you've been married just shy of a year and a half and been with Beck for longer than that. So maybe for our newer guests, and maybe to remind our older guests what it is like to be in a new marriage, a second relationship with the destination to take that all the way to the finish line. Well, how you feel about it?
I think the number one thing I keep coming back to, and sometimes I have to pinch myself and like remind myself that it's not going to, this isn't going to go a different way. Like it's just healthy. Like our relationship, but it wouldn't be had we not both done the work that we needed to get done before we got there. Like we just have a very healthy relationship. That's the number one word I could describe it. There's healthy boundaries. We're comfortable doing our own things. We love being together. We still date. It's just, but to get there was not easy. Like it wasn't like we just, I was sure this was going to happen again. And I think that's why so many, you see people get married 4 or 5 times, right? 3, 4, 5 times, because they haven't done the right things to be ready for that next relationship, to know what a good, healthy relationship looks like. And, I believe that that's what we have, again, but part of that is not like putting it as a mandate for the next 20 years. It's kind of a presence that you have. I'm not like Pollyanna, like things couldn't break apart, or it's like everything's perfect all the time. It's more like if you're present and it's healthy at this moment, that's all you have to care about. You don't have to care about like what a lot of people think about is this, romanticized version about, oh my gosh, we're going to be together for the next 30 years. And we're going to, die together in this, at the same time or whatever, all this like things that people want to romanticize. I don't know that that's healthy. I think for me, the healthy part of recovery from divorce and getting to this position is that I'm very present in my relationship. And I don't, while I want to have a future like forever with her, I don't like put pressure on that. We're married, we're happy right now, live in the moment, be present, enjoy dating each other, go to the beach like we did Saturday and have a random impromptu happy hour right after the beach. That's living.
What I think you're talking about there is being respectful of the process of being in a relationship, not just the process leading up to starting a relationship, but being in it, that you have to be attentive to it all the time and intentional about the relationship. I feel like that's the attitude I take into relationship now. And I feel incredibly fortunate to have found love twice after divorce. I had one, for those who don't know, I had a relationship that was almost 3 years, it started about 3.5, 4 years after my divorce. That was fantastic. And in the end, it just kind of ran out of runway. And, parted that relationship, still good friends and occasionally in touch. And it was a really meaningful relationship. And shortly after, finding my way into a next one that is daily and fantastic and rewarding every single day, in part because we pay attention to that process. I'm so much more aware of what it takes to be successful in relationship, what goes into that kind of effort, in part because I've had the experience of a couple that didn't work out, right, in a marriage of 19 years, and in part because I've done quite a bit of my own healing, not only from the divorce, but of all the baggage I brought to my first marriage, from things that happened in earlier life and in childhood, and that maturity and wisdom that we take with us into the back nine of life allows us to find that grounding and that centering for the rest of our lives in that relationship in a healthy way. It's not as other things have changed in my life, it's not that I'm leaning into that relationship because I need that to support me and ground me. It's grounding and supportive on its own. And that's a healthy thing that allows me really for maybe the first time to be able to see, yeah, this is a relationship that's going to go until one or the other of us leaves the earth. Not to be dramatic about it. That's a little too final, but it's a happy thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's lots of life ahead.
Yeah, the one thing I would say too that you did a good job of, and you kind of taught me, is I had to learn to be alone before I could be strong in another relationship. And the problem is, and this book talks about it as well, most men don't do that. They're so comfortable being with someone that they instantly go with someone else. I guess I can only speak for men that I see, so I'm sure women do it too, but men jump right out of their marriage into another relationship or into relationships because it gives them that comfort that they need, and they're not comfortable alone. They're not comfortable in their own skin. They've been with a spouse for 15, 20 years. They had kids, so they jump and they jump into these relationships. I had to go through the painful process of learning how to be completely alone with myself, alone with my thoughts, alone with my, depressed moments, sad moments, all of that kind of stuff that built up in me over the course of that year plus that I was alone. And we talk about it. I had to go through that to be on this side where I'm comfortable now. Like I could handle, I don't want it to happen, but when I say be present, it's a lot easier to be present when you could pretty much handle anything. You've had the ultimate disappointment. You had the ultimate rejection. You've had the ultimate letdown from someone. So that on the other side of that, you could survive that again because you did it once.
Right. That's right. And it doesn't mean that men need to be completely off the market for a time or celibate for a time. It's the difference of how do you date casually from how you date casually just for fun and how you date with intention, which is a big part of what we explore in section.
I was not a monk. No, I was not a hermit and a monk for a year. That's not what I meant.
I know your stories. Yeah. So anyway, that's the book. And again, we have a working title. We're not going to share that right now, but we're excited. It's a good title. We like it. Cool. We hope it stays. We've got so much more coming up. As you mentioned, a banger of an opening episode for season 12 with a woman who has an absolutely fantastic story. And by fantastic, gut-wrenching, but the denouement, although it's still going, so it's probably early for that. But where she has taken her life from some terrible trauma is compelling and interesting and inspiring for sure. And so we're excited to bring that to you. And we have other guests lined up. We just don't know exactly where they're going to slot in the order. But we're really excited about season 12. We're really excited that Hammer and Nails is joining us. And we're really excited that you're joining us and will be with us for an exciting season coming up on The Back Nine.